King of Fomo.
What's up, everybody? King of Fomo here, coming at you with your daily crypto update. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we can see Texitcoin is at basically $5 here. And in a span of like simply 2 days, really, I went from almost being in profit to simply $1,000 in profit with Texitcoin. Now I'm going to show you guys my wallet in my back office here. So taking a look at the wallet, this is my wallet. Everything that I've earned since the beginning of July. I have about 1,454 TXC coins, plus a couple more, just a little bit more in another wallet. At the price of close to $5, that puts me at about $7,140 earned with Texitcoin in simply 2 months. That is insane. That is incredible. And the mining profits are going to continue. So how am I at $1,000 in profit? Originally, I put in about $9,000 to purchase a bunch of hash power for Texitcoin to mine these coins over the past 2 months. And not only do I have that $7,000, but I also have that $3,000 of commission, which I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit, saying, man, I really should have gotten that commission paid out in TXC. In fact, I think I could probably still change it because it hasn't been paid out quite yet, but it will be paid out by the end of the day today. And so that's really, really nice to see that we are at $10,000 here in Texitcoin, $10,140 here in Texitcoin in a span of 2 months. So from here on out, let's see if this price remains stable. Of course, that's all contingent upon, if I do sell all of my coins right now, that would be the profit. My whole strategy and my whole kind of outlook with Texitcoin, I said this in previous videos. I said that this thing has the potential to hit the $10 mark pretty quickly, and we are rapidly approaching that $10 mark. But of course, there could be a pullback, and if there is a pullback, maybe we don't hit that $10 mark, then obviously I wouldn't be in profit quite yet. So there is a small little caveat, is that I haven't sold my TXC coins yet. However, I could if I wanted to. So there we go. The price is still rising, $5.06, as you can see here live. Now, right now you're seeing Texitcoin at about a $260 million market cap. And again, it was just like a week ago, or maybe two or 3 weeks ago, that we said we were at like $2. I was talking about how this thing could definitely hit $10. Now you guys are seeing it live right here, $5.06. Only a 2x away from $10. Now this is where you guys sort of can see the strategy in my outlook overall. TXC is a coin. You can purchase this thing, but purchasing this hash power gives you sort of unlimited profits over time with the TXC coin. At least as long as there's not too many miners in the system. We're making close to about 10, 11 TXC coins a day, which is, at the current rate, $50 a day. Really, really good stuff right there that I'm earning from Texitcoin. Now, from here on out, like I said before, as I continue to grow this thing, as I continue to kind of jump in here, I'm planning on increasing my hash power as much as I can, especially before that $10 mark. And then, the next leg up from there is $20. A lot of people were saying, a while ago, that Texitcoin could hit $20. I sort of cut that in half and said that my short-term goal is $10, and we are almost there. So increasing my hash power as much as possible before we get to that $10 mark, and hopefully that doesn't happen too soon. I want things to slow down a little bit here so that I can mine as much of these TXC coins as possible, because once the word gets out, and sure enough, we can look at again here at just how the word is getting out. Once the word does get out, the amount of TXC that you're going to be earning per day is going to reduce significantly, and it's going to be a real deal coin in terms of comparing it to some of these higher market cap coins, where the early time might be over soon, but it's still here. I still think it's here right now, especially like I said, before that $10 mark, you're still in the early point for jumping in on here and mining as many of these coins as possible, so we can take a look and see kind of what that means here in the future. So down here, just showing you guys the growth of this thing. We're sitting at 26,313 miners. I remember when I started this thing, it was like 7,000 miners. So we've increased almost 4x from there. And yeah, that's what I mean by the adoption of TXC. As those miners increase, you're going to get more and more people jumping in on this. It's going to start potentially being listed on some major exchanges. And that's where you can get really excited, because if Texitcoin does become successful, it's becoming successful in a state, if we're going to get political now, it's becoming successful in a state that is very, very crypto friendly. So that was one of the big major attractors for me coming in on this thing, is the fact that this is a crypto friendly state. And if Texitcoin does do incredibly, incredibly well, I can just imagine that some of the big players in Washington, D.C. That are talking about crypto are going to look at some of these crypto-friendly states and say, what are you doing? And if Texitcoin makes noise, I think the sky's going to be the limit in terms of how high it can go and how successful it can be, as it's kind of the most accepted proof of work cryptocurrency out there. There's a couple other ones that states are launching, and again, this isn't a Texas sponsored state coin, but there's a couple others that actual state sponsored coins are launching, but they're doing it the slow and steady safe way, where they're doing stable coins. There's not too many coins that are just proof of work, pure Bitcoin type of coins out there. And since Texitcoin has sort of taken that spot, as successful as it is, I think it can go significantly higher as we progress throughout the year. If crypto grows a lot, Texitcoin grows a lot, there's going to be some eyeballs on this. That's what I want to summarize this by saying, is there's going to be some eyeballs on Texitcoin, which could equate to significantly more growth. And that's when you can start seeing price explosion, which hasn't quite happened yet. And we can see it, we're still seeing some crazy, crazy volume right here. $373 million in volume, and we're at $5.25. Really, really incredible stuff. Man, I like I said, I want it to slow down a little bit, because I do want to get that hash power. So even if we do have a pullback, again, that won't be too scary for me, because that means accumulating that hash power might be a little bit easier, as people aren't going to pile in on this. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're hitting these really, really big numbers to start to see some massive adoption in terms of people jumping in on the miners, and seeing where that goes. So I'm happy that I got in on this as early as I could and mined a lot of coins. And like I said, another key point that we can kind of touch on before we end this video is what's next for Texitcoin. So there's a lot that's in the pipeline. I think I want to make a dedicated video so I can kind of boil down and talk about the big stuff that's coming. But one of the things that I heard is coming along in the pipeline is the ability to purchase more miners. So right now they're capping you with that $9,000 limit, but I think that limit's going to increase to close to about $20,000 of hash power. So that's almost 2 times more hash power. And if they do that, then I'm going to try and get as much hash power as I can with this thing, because then this explosion could hit $20 or more. And we also talked about how we're at $260 million for the reported market cap. And if this thing does become as successful as I was talking about, and the fact that it's a Texas coin, crypto friendly state, and it grows, and a lot of people jump in on it from other states in the United States and just in general around the world, then we can see a top 100 coin. And those top 100 coins are typically at the $1 billion market cap, right? So if you can imagine, we're at $260 million for the market cap. This thing could potentially get to $1 billion or $2 billion for the market cap. If you're being extremely optimistic here, if you're thinking, man, I'm too late, well, not quite. If this thing does hit the multiple $1 billion market cap, I mean, let's just take a look at some of the other coins here. So if it hits close to about a $2 billion market cap, then you're looking at close to 200 or 25. Wait, no, we're looking at 10x from there. So you're looking at about we'll say $40 $40 for Texitcoins right there. Sorry, my math is not working out right now. It's 10x from where we are right now, which would put us at the $1 billion market cap. 10x from where we are right now is going to put us at $2.6 billion, which would be $50. Now it's going to be a little less than that if we were looking at $2 million market cap, but you know, that's where you can kind of see things start to roll there. And again, I want to make sure I get my numbers right here because I'm sort of stumbling on my math a little bit. So going into our market cap, right, and we want to see, yeah, these Bitcoin's at $2 trillion, Cardano's at $31 billion. Of course, I'm not really projecting, I never really project things to get in the top, you know, 50 that quickly, but if we just go right below 50 where Caspa is, that's where you're getting to that $2.6 billion market cap, where you could see Texitcoin get to, which would put it at that $50 mark. And again, what that means right now, if I'm making 10 TXC per day, even if it takes, you know, a month for us to get to that $2.6 billion market cap, then 10 TXC per day is going to be $500 a day, which is not too shabby. All right, guys, check it out for yourself. Definitely check out my other videos. The link for Texitcoin is going to be below in the description. And yeah, well, we're gonna kind of top it off right there. And we got a couple of other things in the pipeline that I'm looking at. But honestly, I'm trying to slow down and focus on, you know, one or two things that are working nicely, which is going to be this. And I have another guy who's been mentioning a trading platform to me, which I've been slow to kind of jump in on, but I might be jumping in on that soon as well if I have time to really look at these charts. All right, guys, that's everything for today. I'll catch you in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Peace out.